Gamerscape's Final Fantasy XIV podcast. I'm FusionX, and joining me today we have Zenidra, Sil, and Aldiano.
I always wave. Hello!
Hello.
Speaking.
Hi.
People. Bryn's not here. He had some other stuff going on. It was one of those, it's like, okay, we can have like 3 people on or 4 people on, so we went with the majority, because majority rules. So here we are. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's been a while since the last episode. I have been busy IRL. I've moved. You may notice the background is different behind me. So it has been taking a while. And then E3, so lots of stuff. So busy. But here we are. And now we are going to play catch up. So E3 was just was it last week now? 2 weeks ago? Man.
Last week tonight.
The calendar in my head is just a big question mark. I don't know what date it is anymore. E3 just happened. We got a chance to sit down with Naoki Yoshida, and we'll talk a little bit about that a little later on. They announced yesterday, I think it was, Final Fantasy XIV is going to be at Campus Party Mexico, which is going to be held from June 29th to July 3rd. Yoshida is going to be giving a keynote discussion on the evolution of business models and how it has influenced game design.
How you make video game and not fail.
There you go. micro RMT stuff. You got to combat that. Mm-hmm. You have your in-game item sales and all that stuff. And that actually is going to be streamed July 2nd at 2 p.m. Pacific. The problem though is it's only going to be streamed in Japanese and Spanish. So if you know Japanese and Spanish, you're good to go. If you speak English, then if you want to watch it and feel like you understand, nod along, then go for it. There's also going to be a Final Fantasy XIV booth at the event that'll be broadcasting various content during that. That's going to be Twitch TV/Square Enix CPMX. No idea what their stream it is. Probably just somebody raiding. I don't know. No idea. The Final Fantasy XIV Japanese Twitter account has gotten up to 140,000 followers.
Oh,
is that a lot?
That's a lot. How many followers do you have?
I don't know. Twitter's too difficult.
I'm
another person.
Wow.
I don't keep track. So because of that,
play it cool.
the Hatchling Earring is now available in game until July 6th. So pick that up. It's 14 gil. See, get it 14 gil.
That's good. Wow. I don't know.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I don't understand. What 14? Is there some significance to this number?
What are you trying to say?
I just realized I wasn't recording. Nice.
Perfect.
Hit the wrong button. Awesome. All right, I'll have to patch that together now.
Yeah. Twitch will have it. Hooray!
Mm-hmm. Yay! All right.
Hey, you just moved. You get a mulligan.
Okay. FanFest tickets went on sale the other day for pre-sale, and they're gone. They sold out in about 9 hours or something like that.
Yeah, they did.
So if you got it, awesome. If you didn't, unless you were out of town for more than 24 hours. They were around for a while, and Nabil's given this. He's like, oh, man.
I couldn't get to a computer. I tried so hard on my phone. It wouldn't do it.
He's the one
I woke up to do it, and I was looking at my phone, and it was just forever loading. And it said that the page was going to be loading for a while, but I'm like, this seems wrong. So I dragged myself out of bed.
There are no excuses I can make.
I just picture you
sad.
running down the street, almost like that last scene from The Matrix, where he's trying to grab people's phones to call in. It's like, I need your phone. I need to see if the ticket thing will load. And he's like, no, throws it, runs down the street, grabs another guy's phone, and no, it doesn't work. Yeah. Then he gets home to the desktop, and Agent Smith is there, and he shoots him.
Yeah. Also, there was
that's how purchasing FanFest tickets was for sale.
Yes, that's exactly what it was like. I should have taken the day off, is what I should have done. And mistakes were made.
They were saying it would be a couple days of just us players to be able to buy it. And then after that, people who weren't players could buy them. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Still not that many tickets.
Well,
I shouldn't have underestimated the fan base, which is what I did this year.
There you go.
Never underestimate.
Hear that, everybody? He doubted you. He didn't think you were big enough fans.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one who cared enough, but apparently.
Well, I figured after last year, because last year they didn't sell out right away. I mean, they did end up, I think, selling out, but you could, I mean, for a good amount of time, you could get them still.
Right.
I'm hoping maybe it's
that's also because the website crashed and there were complications.
Yeah.
And
Then
I feel like I'm rubbing
like
salt in the wound for
Yeah.
Every time I look at Syl when I'm talking about this, I feel like I'm just rubbing salt in the wound. It's like
no, it's fine. No, it was just like
time.
Obamacare for me the first couple of days. It's fine.
Jeez.
Let's get
Oil.
political. Final Fantasy 14.
Wow. Pre-sale for Obamacare. Only if you're a current player.
Moving along, I failed hardcore.
But we'll figure that out. So we will be Gamerscape and Aetheryte Radio will be out at FanFest. So keep an eye out for us. We don't know if we're going to be giving out anything this year. I know last time we gave out some bags and balls and all that stuff. So, but we'll be there in some capacity. So keep an eye out
bottle
for
opener.
us.
I use that thing.
Opener. There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. So we'll release details for that as we get closer to the event. Summer DLC campaign on Amazon, which is all of the 7-Eleven items that they had out in Japan. That ends on June 27th. So if you're watching this and you haven't gotten them, order something right now from the video game category. So
look through everything.
$20.
I bought a mouse pad.
Everything.
I canceled my 15 pre-order and then re-pre-ordered it.
Just
Yeah, you better.
Oh, well done.
The items.
That was a good decision.
So, yeah, so it was pretty easy.
Yeah, I have nothing I can play 15 on yet, so but I'm still doing the pre-order. It's not stopping me.
Yeah, might as well pick it up. Get a nice little maid costume, or for retainers, or the butler costume, or the Ifrit mask, the Titan mask, the original Fat Chocobo. I love the item descriptions.
All worthwhile.
On those.
Oh yeah,
so great. And that is it for that.
Speaking of descriptions, I'm gonna butt in real quick. Mm-hmm. There was a quest description for the new Hildebrand, and it's called "Don't Call It a Comeback."
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, I see.
You haven't. Well, that's all I'll say. All I will say is a quest name was "Don't Call It a Comeback," and I love the LL Cool J reference.
Oh yeah.
I love our localization team so much. I can't even.
Okay.
Can't even explain. Like, every patch note, I'm always looking for good pop culture references, and they never disappoint.
No.
You should over here freaking out. Don't tell me about my favorite thing.
I don't want to hear anything.
I would never.
It's like one of those things. It's like I gotta get that done, but I also have to unpack and adult things.
The new color change.
Next up, we'll go ahead and cover a little bit of what was in our interview with Yoshida back at E3 here. We talked a little bit about Deep Dungeon. The biggest reward out of Deep Dungeon is, in fact, a glowing weapon. So that's kind of really? That's it?
It looks like it could be really fun, though.
Yeah.
If you ever played an MMO, glowing is really all that matters near the end.
Here's the thing, though. He also said that for people, because the way that Deep Dungeon works is when you first get in, it's for super casual players. But the more you get in, it gets harder, and it's going to end up being for hardcore players once they add floor 200. He says that you'll be lucky to get beat floor 200. So basically, how it's going to happen is that the first chunk of floors, I think that's up to 50, is you'll be able to go through and get the weapon, and that weapon for players that are going through it at a kind of a casual pace, that'll actually be a decent weapon, and then for everybody else, it'll be a good glamour weapon. So
I'm wondering if we'll get tomes out of it, because.
Yes.
I'm imagining.
I mean, I'll do that for an hour for my week of tomes, sure.
Really,
that's a good
all
question.
I want is a really good-looking giant greatsword for my Dark Knight, and as long as an MMO can deliver that for me in the way that Final Fantasy absolutely always can, I'll be happy.
Because we asked him basically what kind of rewards are we looking at, and he mentioned the weapon and XP. He didn't mention anything about tomestones, so maybe no tomestones. Maybe progression is part of the reward, and a little bit of XP. So, he also talked about we brought up story gating. That was something they mentioned a while, because we haven't talked to him since E3 last year, which was right before Heavensward. Yeah, it's been a while, and so we talked a little bit about how he's looking at story gating content, not story gating content rather for 4.0, since it was such a big deal with mostly media people in America for 3.0, because they couldn't be bothered to go through ARR before reviewing. But one thing he did bring up was the idea of a jumping potion, which is essentially something that will boost your level and let you skip past stories. That way you could, if you're new to the game and you have a bunch of friends playing, you could kind of get caught up to them. On top of that, he mentioned that the 4.0 story it's sequential. It's 4.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But
It's not
I was
on the
almost
side or
wondering.
anything.
Yeah, I thought it would be when they said it wouldn't be story gated. It would almost have to be kind of a self-contained thing on the side if there's no prerequisite. But that's not the case now. And boy, did the internet blow up about this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was really mixed. It was almost like Brexit level of mixed. But I will say that I really think it makes sense for such a social game. And I love the social aspect of all these games that we play, like MMOs and whatnot, because it's just a lot more fun when more people can be included. So I think it was absolutely the right move for Square and for any MMO whatsoever to make this jumping potion. Some people are like, oh well, we had to do all this 2.xx story garbage, and I'm like, it wasn't garbage. It was tithing you over until the next expansion came, and it was doing work for you, and they were doing all these things that they maybe didn't have to do until the next expansion. They could have just left us, sitting in the dust until end of 2 to the beginning of 3, but no, they gave us all these living story stuff month to month, and we were lucky to have that. And that people get to skip that really is just so they can play with their friends, and I think that makes sense. And I don't quite agree with people's anger with it.
It's a mixed thing, and I understand where it's coming from. If you doing trial roulettes, you'll run into this where you get. I think last week I was in the Chrysalis and I had a lot of Sprout icons in the party. Which, looking back, it seems so weird, right? It's like they're almost at the end of A Realm Reborn, but they're still a new player. What?
It's so easy to get up to 50 though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's totally valid to still be a Sprout with 160 job.
Yeah, it's just that odd mix of you're so far in the story, but you're still technically a new player, and then they want to make it even easier for people to get up, which is. The big argument is, we already have enough people in roulettes that don't know how to play their jobs. Now we're going to have even more, which I get to a point.
You have to strike that balance. You're right.
If more people were patient and just would explain what was going on, then more people would know what was going on.
Well, it's funny because we have this mentor system now. We have the Novice Network, which pretty much ends up turning into doing roulettes, and then you get a tank that says, "Oh, I haven't done this before." And it's the worst run you've ever had in the history of runs. I don't know that I've ever actually seen a mentor pop in with roulette with new people and actually explain anything.
No, I haven't had that experience either. I started a whole new character.
Michelle's excuse me, I did that.
I do that all the time.
You're the only one. Congratulations.
You're one of the few. I try and do that with my tank, my Dark Knight, just because since I've been playing Machinist the last 2 months, 3 months, the only time I really spend with my Dark Knight just for fun completely is just on Mentor Roulette, and I have a good time with it. But since I started my new character just to do crafting stuff, I've been leveling him up and doing some stuff as a new character. It's been weird. A lot of people, honestly, they get frustrated with you, and it's really odd. I figured the player base would embrace this a little bit better, but so I don't know. I was actually honestly surprised that they didn't. That they really just going for that crown.
I've had a fair amount of people in the mentor channel, the novice channel, because I keep that on. Say things like, "Oh, I don't queue for mentor roulette because I don't want to deal with new people." Why are you in this channel at all?
Oh my gosh.
Get out. Make room for people who actually care.
They're doing it for the tone bonus. They're doing it for that extra roulette.
That is how it's always been in the history of every MMO. New people just get such a stigma. I played WoW since the beginning, and heaven forbid if you don't know how to do this dungeon. It could be the first dungeon in the game, and those are really long and annoying. If you don't know it, I'll just kick you. I'll get someone else. Yeah. It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah, horrible situation.
I never played too much WoW, so I never went through it there. And so this is the first time I'm going through where older players are just overall just hating on newer players so bad. Usually I'm used to bad point and click MMOs where it was still fun to teach new players things. Yeah. It was this joy in teaching somebody younger than you in the game wise sense. How the ropes worked and how everything went. and they would always like stick around, be your new friend, and it was actually a good experience. I'm not getting so much of that with the roulette that I expected to.
Yeah, I think something else that's important to note too. I mean, regardless of the potion, this jumping potion, we're still gonna have people in roulettes that don't know how to play, right? So that's already a thing.
No matter what.
But what you really need to do to really understand where Yoshida's coming, just MMOs in general, why they've implemented this in the past. And Brian kind of brought up a similar thing back when the Feast was coming out, where it's basically like, okay, I'm playing this game, I'm really into it, I have a friend that wants to come in, he can't do anything with me. And so with this jumping potion, they can get caught up, they can play with their friends. Or your friends could come in if you're playing and you have friends come in, and when they want, you guys can't play together, they use a jumping potion, and there you go. And then in that respect, like, you're going to be playing with them, you're going to be kind of helping them along anyway. So if it's your friend and they're not a good player, like, help them out, and
yes.
We're gonna have new stupid people regardless, is basically how
it's regardless. It's going to happen no matter what, and I think that'll really start separating us from other MMOs that don't get to even get as far as we've gotten. Some MMOs don't get to their first expansion, second expansion.
Right.
The fact that we even have this opportunity to like develop this jumping potion and people can come in and go right to the new stuff, it means we'll have like this sort of varied community of players, and it'll grow and it'll be bigger, and we'll have like this old school, or the old guard of people who've played through the whole thing beginning to end. We'll have these new people who come in, love Final Fantasy, love this new story, and we still get a chance to teach them all these things like, oh no, back when I started, this and this was going on in the story, and they won't even know any of that happened, and that's still fun. That's still part of this experience, and I don't think anything will really be lost in the overall.
And I mean, and Yahoo makes a good point too. New stupid people is better than no new people.
Exactly.
Again,
exactly.
I mean, there's still going to be people that don't know, even without a jumping potion. But this way, at least, it's word of mouth. It's the recruitment thing, how you can bring in friends and stuff and get bonuses and stuff. That'll be a big part of this, I feel. But it'll be nice to be able to just bring in new people and friends, especially. That's really what I think is going to do this, especially with so many people now playing the game. A lot of people are talking about it. On
a not quite same plane, but like parallel type thing. I heard in Guild Wars 2 they have a jumping potion thing currently, and as long as you don't tell it, yes, I want to stay on this job forever, you can jump a job up, try it out, go, ugh, I hate this, and then use it on a different job. And if they do a similar thing, I think that's a great idea, because people will get to try out the different jobs, see what they're good at, see what they like, and stick around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Decide what they like and stick around via
for
that.
Legion as well.
That's what I played before I came to 14. I actually don't know. Have any of you guys played that, or the new expansion at all?
No.
I played it a bit.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out a bit, actually.
Yeah. So end of the day, it'll help out people that are bringing friends into the game, and there's going to be new people that still don't know how to play regardless. So who cares? If it helps people play and enjoy the game, it's not going to be a big hindrance to you. So
not at all.
For it. Next up, one of the questions we did ask Yoshida, this was the morning after they did the live letter D3, which is, had some of the FanFest stuff. They announced that for people that go to FanFest or people that buy the streams for FanFest, depending on which ones, there's going to be Final Fantasy X minions. So North America is getting Riku, Japan's getting Lulu, and Europe is getting Yuna. And I had asked if there was a particular reason why they decided on Final Fantasy X minions, and Yoshida says that you'll have to wait and see. And then he said, "Please speculate." So I mean, and I already did a follow-up post right away, because I wanted to make sure that I got that out there. And I know we've talked about it before.
Yes.
The idea of Blitzball in Final Fantasy XIV is seeming like it might be just a little bit more of a possibility now with these minions.
I'm so excited for that. The idea of Blitzball would just be the best thing ever. I would love it to death.
I mean, they could do it like triple triad. You go and collect NPCs, put them on your team. Oh, it'd be great.
Yes, it would be amazing.
Or they could add it in and make it a PvP, a new form of PvP. Star Wars: The Old Republic. They had some kind of Warzone stuff, and they had Hutball, which was weird because they were all in the same queue. So you'd queue up. And you're like, all right, let's get in. We'll fight this other team, and it's like time for Hutball, and I'm just like, that's not like no, which is good and bad, right? Because it's it's nice to have something different. And I think right now, especially which, I mean, I try to do Shatter like 2 days after the patch dropped. And it was already in like 20+ minute queue times, right. That's bad. That's bad. I feel really bad for people that were like super looking forward to that, because it takes forever to queue into it already, and it's still new content. But what they need to do, what I think would be nice, is if we do get Blitzball, right, throw it into like a big PvP roulette, throw in Shatter, throw in Frontlines, throw in whatever that other one was called that's still just Frontlines, but it's a, what was the Seal Rock? I forget what the hell that was called.
Secure,
maybe? That could be it. Just take all those, throw them into one roulette.
You can tell we don't PvP.
Have that be like the big PvP roulette. And I think that would be great for a lot of people. I think they'd get interest in PvP idea. Up a little bit more. A little more variety, which would be nice. Because right now it's just like, all right, big teams. There's kind of some nodes you can stand at or poke at or something, and then kill everybody. But it's like, they're different, right? But they're also like same-ish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So having something
so
much different would be great, I think. So.
Mm-hmm. I would kill for this to happen. I would literally kill, because I
so many people just love Blitzball. I could never figure out how it worked. Then again, I'm the same person who didn't understand the sphere grid at first and went through like half the game without using any spheres.
Did you enjoy the gambit system in 12?
I would be really interested too in how it worked, because I remember back when we got Chocobo Racing for the Gold Saucer, right? Just like looking at Final Fantasy as a whole, the Gold Saucer Chocobo Racing in 14 is the most involved Chocobo Racing.
Your hand raised.
Yes, still in the front there. You have a question?
Here's the way Blitzball worked. You learned how the eject shot was done, and then you used the eject shot for everything.
Well, right, but it
that's
was
how you won.
It was to a point turn-based though. It wasn't, you know what I mean? And so I can't imagine it'd be turn-based in here, but and it also depends on if they do it, what kind of system does it have? Is it the player and a group of NPCs? Do you take your Grand Company army and go play Blitzball, or is it all player based? Is it Grand Company based with just like other players? It's who knows.
In my mind, the perfect way would be like Rocket League-esque. They minimized it as much as they can, and then they just made it like they add a little flourish to it. So it'd still be like 2-3 players controlling one Blitzball player and whatnot. Maybe the special moves didn't translate
I can almost see us getting just like maybe like 4 or 5 actions on the hotbar.
Yeah.
Maybe you can move a little bit or something, but who knows? But I think they could pull it off, and I think they would do a good job of actually having it be, an even better version of what was in 10. But that's if they do it. But I think things are looking good. It's looking like that. That might be it. So
separate theory. They did say that they wanted to do sky and then water at some point, and a lot of at least the beginning stuff in 10 involves swimming and boats.
Correct.
And island.
Yes.
So that could be it.
That's what I was thinking.
It could be as simple as that.
I remember asking that. That was actually E3 last year. Before they had said, okay, with the expansion, we'll go up or we'll go down, and with 3.0, it's Heaven's Word, so they went up. So I'm like, the plan is this to go like down or water or whatever, and he's like, well, we could always keep going up, like we could go to like the moon, but I don't know, like who would give you quests on the moon? This is right before Heaven's Word.
We're already doing the moon apparently.
So a week after I finished 3.0, and I'm like thinking, who would give you quests on the moon? How about that guy standing right there on the moon? But
he loves to tease you, specifically you.
Yeah, I think he did that back in it was pre-alpha, I want to say, at E3. He showed us Thanalin, because he had shown off. There'd been a couple pictures that went out for the Black Shroud, but he's like,
the train, right?
He's he's like, I'll show you guys Thanalin. I was like, ooh, cool. And he like right clicked. This is because we didn't have right click player menus in 1.0. And so he like hits the like right click and the little menu pops up. Like, oh man, that's really cool. Like I wish I could like see. I wish I knew Japanese so I could like see what that said. And he goes, yep. And then he opens it again, knowing that I couldn't read it. It's like, wow, thanks. But yeah, so make sure to check out our full interview with Yoshida. We were joined by members from PlayStation Universe and MMORPG as well, so there's quite a few questions in there. Additionally, we don't have all the details right now, but we do have 3 autographed I Beat Sephiroth t-shirts that Yoshida signed for us, and some new bags from E3. We'll be giving those out here in the future, so keep an eye out for that. We'll have a post up on the main page of Gamerscape when that is ready. And then additionally, we had a Q&A with the 2 new community reps, Lux Ferris and Psyseeker, so make sure to check those out. Psyseeker. Get a little background on both of them. Lux Ferris,
did you get those pronunciations from them?
I think I saw it on a stream. They were doing like calling time, and I think they mentioned it, or it might have been that Duty Commenced. But Lux Ferris used to do Square Enix support, and Aya, who's Psyseeker, actually was a full-time partner Twitch broadcaster before coming on. So very cool. We met him at E3. Really nice. So make sure to check out that short Q&A, get to know him a little bit. And now we'll move on to 3.3 discussion, because we haven't talked about 3.3 yet. First off,
nothing was important except for bard buffs.
Yep, I was gonna bard buffs were crazy.
Like it.
Pretty good.
Deserved. They were deserved.
Yeah. I gotta say, does anybody else feel like that main scenario was rushed? It just felt like
a little short.
It's short, and it's just like all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we're gonna fight Nidhogg after like all this stuff that's been happening, but no, now we're gonna fight him.
I don't know that I would say rushed. Very short, but
yeah.
I didn't feel like they left anything out.
For me, it's not rushed because I didn't beat it. Does that count?
No.
Yeah. You didn't beat the main scenario. You didn't get your FanFest ticket.
Yeah. I didn't beat it.
Just being mean, nah.
Yeah, seriously.
He's just been like frozen in some type of like cryo tube waiting for us to do another show. He actually hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I'm just making all these awful steps. That's all I'm doing here. And that and the feast and leveling up my crafters. That's really it.
Don't let him see you cry.
Wow.
Goblin forever.
Man. So yeah, I thought main scenario was cool. Definitely kind of left the door open a little bit at the end there. Mm-hmm. But I think now we're going to start getting into the kind of segue into 4.0, right? With the Ascians and the Warriors of Darkness and eyeballs and stuff. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. Warrior Triad, you guys do the Warrior Triad quest?
Yep.
No. I was informed shortly before this podcast that there was one.
No.
Oh, you're fired.
Yeah.
How did you
not really point to it?
Oh my gosh.
This is the first set of patch notes that I have not read ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
So
are you feeling okay, or
safe to say everyone's playing Overwatch?
I actually the wife actually got me Overwatch for my birthday. Mm-hmm. I flew out to E3 on my birthday, so like that night I played 3 matches of it, and then I was like gone for a week.
Yeah,
I've been playing a lot. But Warrior Triad quest I thought was really cool because it's not a trial, but it's like an instanced fight where you go into the Chemical Research Facility with some of the scions. You kind of fight your way up to Hydrus. And you fight him, which I thought was pretty cool.
Everyone.
I've been really enjoying how they've been handling story ever since the expansion. Like I like those like dungeons with the NPCs and just you going in. Yeah, it's really fun.
I wish they would add more, especially and I think I mentioned this to Anwell before we went to E3, with a lot of the PvP areas, because you have like Seal Rock, which is like such a huge place of importance in 1.0, and then you have Fields of Glory, which is like the other chunk of Korthus, which is like awesome, cool. I wish I could go there, but it's only PvP and there's not a lot of story. So it'd be really cool if they would add new quests where it throws you in there in an instance and you get to do stuff. But whether we'll get that or not, who knows? But I really like the Warring Triad quest and going in there and doing that stuff. Has anybody done the dailies?
Yeah,
every day.
Our day, except yesterday.
Nice. How are they? I did the.
They're easy. They're easier than Nick's Alley by a lot. You don't have to leave the area.
Yeah, they are easier than the Exali with the stupid craftings.
After a certain point with the Exali, everything had to be HQ and not with the Mughals. There are some HQ things, but not the majority.
Yeah, but even with Exali, like, how long does it take for you to HQ anything for them? Like, 2 seconds?
They capped out the ability to use certain abilities, and they haven't done that with the Mughals at least yet
that's
either.
True.
I think I'm rank 6.
I think I am too.
I remember Exali being tedious, but I don't remember that being like necessarily hard.
You don't have to go gather.
Sure.
You don't have to keep stupid bait on you to go get snow smelts.
So do you not keep all those things with you all the time? Is that just me? Alright, okay.
You open his inventory, it's just all...
My inventory system is 75% full at all points. Crafter life.
Moogle quests are the only reason I have a level 60 crafter. Like, I am the guy they made these for. I finally have a level 60 now.
Nice. Yeah, prior to the patch, because I had so much guild just kind of sitting around, so I was doing leave quest turn-ins. I was just buying everything off the market board. I'm like, I might as well just like level my crafting job so I can like repair and meld or something. Just sitting there.
Mine are all 60, so I just hit 2 buttons, turn it in, and I'm like, Moogle quest, bye.
Yeah.
Done and done.
Did any of you guys jump in and do any stuff with houses?
Heck no.
Live? No, I was the only one.
I already have like 3 though.
They added 30 new orchestrion rolls. I made a little bit of coin off that, but other than that,
so I wanted to buy a new house because I wanted a medium.
My friend.
So I had this elaborate vision. I'm like, all right, we'll get the wife. Make sure her sub is up to date. What she'll do is we'll both log in at the same time. I will relinquish the current house. She will immediately buy it, and then I will run to the new boards. Well, when the servers went up, I got in, she got stuck in a queue. So I'm standing there in front of the house. I'm just like, do I do it? Do I not? And so I dropped it. I gave it up, and I ran over to the new boards. And so it's like, okay, first, like my hands were shaking. This is how absurd this is after you look back at it. My hands are like shaking. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like running around all these different medium plots. I'm like, oh my god. And I look, I'm like, okay, that one's free. And I teleport and I sprint, and I'm like up there, and I get it. So I got a medium house.
Yay!
And then
congrats.
Afterwards,
I was worried with the engine in
like,
sorrow.
I'm just like, I'm like breathing, like, oh my god. I'm like, my hands are shaking. I'm like, this is so stupid. And it was funny because then she logged in and I realized her character didn't have enough gil anyway to buy the house. So I got real lucky, but I did get a medium plot, so that makes me happy. But oh my god,
don't make those disclaimers. That feeling you had, it's worth it. Don't let anybody take that feeling from you.
So ridiculous.
I got a medium last time they introduced words, and that's before people had a decent amount of money, so I had that feeling for no reason because the mediums were up for at least a week after that.
Wow.
And then when they made it so that houses ticked down and eventually came up free again, I sat in front of several large houses for like 4 days, just wake up every 4 hours, check.
This is on Belmont.
It's funny because
total worth.
Yeah, if I had a few more mil, I would have been able to get up the fifth plot or the 5th class mansion.
I'm sorry, did you not have enough mil to buy a 5th class mansion?
There's only one in the whole game. There's only one in the whole game, and it's in Lavender Beds.
How much did that cost?
40.
And you didn't have 40 mil. Come on, Fusion.
No, I had like 36 or something.
So these price drops, I was like, I know everybody was happy. I wasn't. Because maybe a month and a half ago, I bought a large house that happened to come up free. I didn't buy it off anybody. It came up free, and I got it. Crazy. But it was 80 mil.
Yeah.
So screw you guys.
You know what was weird? Some people were expecting like large price increses instead, like large.
No, and instead they kind of evened them out across the board.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people with a lot of money waiting for houses that there are not enough of at this point.
See, I stayed in my small because, my small is already bigger than the apartment I live in now, and I decided that in my MMORPGs that my housing online shouldn't be that much bigger than my housing in IRL, or else it would just make me sad.
There you go. My problem is I have way too much stuff in my small plot house, so it's like I need the upgrade just for both physically and the little number that says how many things I can have. So now I have a whole floor now that's just dedicated to like seasonal event special item stuff. It's fantastic.
Waiting for that plot expansion. I
have 3 of those like little doll shelf things just all smacked next to each other with all these things on them. It's so great.
Yeah.
I have Christmas stuff in the corner just because I have room for it and it's a seasonal item, like Christmas lights, tree, whatever.
That stuff is all
giant
all
Bahamut
in my,
statue
box, the company chest. That crap does not come up until it's the season.
My whole house is just Eorzean maps, so I'm not having these problems.
Okay.
It's just all Eorzean maps and then ink and quill. That's really all I have going on in there.
You're like the guy, like, if you played 11, you would just have, like, the house of all rusty buckets. Like
That's basically, that's actually it.
It's like, I fish a lot. What do you want?
You've hit the rusty nail on the head.
There you go.
My girlfriend was like, here's some gil, buy yourself a house. I'm like, I'm not logging on trying to fight for one. You know what? I am a permanent hobo by choice. I will just raid. I'm rough.
Because there's a lot of people on Twitter, because, servers always go up live early, right? They always go up early.
Always.
And then Bayonne is on Twitter like, hey, so because there's housing awards, we're not going up early, we're going up on time. I'm like, well, all right. I mean, at least I can get a couple hours of sleep in now, but oh my god, when the servers went up, it was just ridiculous. Like 5 minutes after they went up, like everyone's in shock, like, yeah, we got houses, woo! And I was like, oh my, it was ridiculous. And I went back to, I stayed up for another hour to decorate, and then I went back to bed. But
all my houses were gone in 20 minutes or less.
20 minutes, I think.
They were gone real quick on Hyperion.
And then on the servers with much lower populations, there are still houses.
Yeah.
This is a problem that will be a problem forever.
Oh, well, I mean, we do get the weird, like, apartment things that they've been talking about, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I hope people are happy with those. I wouldn't be happy with those.
If they would just add airship to something, because that's what people are mad about. Their FC can't get airships. They're locked out, give them something.
Well, it's that same kind of idea with, like, gardening, right? It's like, oh yeah, like, you need a house to garden, and they're like, whoa, it's okay, because, like, we'll have flower pots. Oh, okay, cool. So, like, I can, like, get like thab onion seeds and, like, plant. No, you can only plant flowers. It's like that's not what we wanted.
You can plant 2 other things that you can trade in for materials, but you can't do any of the crossbreeding stuff.
Can you plant the void drake and the lavender in the? Oh, I didn't know that. See that? Okay, that's all right, but still, it's not what we wanted. It's not why we wanted vases. It's so we could grab seeds for the rare stuff.
And you know what? The flowers? I was really looking forward to the flowers. They're a blob.
Mm-hmm.
Just a blob on the side of your head.
No.
Yeah.
They're not very pretty. And freaking rainbow roses? Who thought that was a good idea? Those are ugly.
It's like I'll just put a.
You like those?
I like them.
See, Sil's like a big fan of, like, rainbow sherbet, and so now he just has, like, a scoop of rainbow sherbet on his head.
Bright yellow, bright red, and then blue that looks more like purple than blue, and they're just...
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm also a big fan of that Snapchat filter with the flowers on your head. Like, it's nice.
Okay.
And tie-dye and Hawaiian shirt Fridays.
Yeah, all of those things.
Man.
No denial here.
At the same time.
All right, what did you guys think of the new dungeons?
The silence.
Speechless.
Homebreaker is so fast.
It really is.
I love the boss.
Extremely fast.
Oh yeah,
the boss for Homebreaker. He just like does that phase change, and you're like, oh, it's the guy. Like,
I don't know if it's because my healing gear is finally falling behind. I have the Akon stuff, but I feel like you have to heal extra in those dungeons.
See, my problem too. My tanking gear is behind, and I only tried one of my tanking gear.
I also really like the new armor sets from the dungeons. I don't know if you guys have seen them in full or not, but like
I like the cape.
Bard and like Dragoon gets like a cape. Bard and Machinist, it's like almost like a cowboy kind of thing, which is really weird because like the last patch, like I didn't like any of the new gear. I'm like, it's kind of it's all right, but like the the tome gear that looks like primals, like this is stupid. It's kind of gimmicky, and now it's like new dungeon gear. I'm like, this gear actually looks pretty solid. It's like every other patch they have somebody else that like design stuff or something because it's like, all right, this patch isn't gonna get great. These new things look really cool. Next patch is like,
I'm a little disappointed in the caster gear because it's just the kind of Aztec Mayan,
You don't like
on an elephant,
the antelope head on your
absolutely
not.
I think it looks cool, but not to actually wear.
Yeah, exactly. It looks cool.
In concept, but not on the street. You don't want to be seen around like lower limits in that.
I would like to be able to take the headgear for healers and casters and like put it on my wall.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
It's like double-faced mask with horns.
Maybe eventually we'll get mannequins and you can dress the mannequin.
Hopefully.
I really want them to have a thing where you can put your weapons you get on your wall.
Yes.
Oh, I liked the Ramu weapon additions. We did a bunch of Ramu the other night.
A lot of it.
Excuse me, that's more of a cosine.
Get out, math nerd.
I'm leaving.
Oh my god.
Get out of here.
Have you guys checked out Mach? There's been a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people not happy with Mach.
I love it.
It's fine.
I like it a lot.
I think it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that same thing you were saying earlier of no matter what, some people are gonna suck.
It's that, but
it's really all.
I remember the second day after the patch went live, everyone's like, "Oh, it's so hard," and I'm thinking, okay, so how many weeks have you been doing this for? How many gear pieces have you upgraded? Mm-hmm. Oh, none. One? Okay, so you still haven't gotten a lot of new gear, and you're worried that the content is hard because you don't have a whole bunch of new gear. Okay, so come back in 5 weeks. If it's still hard, maybe we'll talk. Otherwise, shut up and just do it. Like, cause it's gonna be hard. The patch is brand new. You gotta get the new gear slot. Get the materials in it, and then it'll be easier after everybody's played it a little bit.
On our first run, we won with like 4 seconds to spare.
4 seconds. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was very close to a not win, but but it was still fun the whole time, learning all the new mechanics and seeing the things that they actually did that were new.
Yeah.
Ozma, my God, his glory. He's here.
So great. I loved that the Ozma fight. It was really cool. And it sucks too because it feels like whenever I go into Mach, if there's ever a vote abandoned, it's always at Ozma. And it's like, we're almost there. Like, why would you go through all of this and then want to leave now? It's just, I don't understand it. But we'll see. I mean, and it was funny at E3 too. Yoshida had the question where people were like, "Hey, can we get like a Savage mode version?" And it's like, what? For the few FCs out there, I guess, that have that many people, I would
much rather like Savage mode be 8 people. That'd be so much fun. Like, just make an extreme and give it to us in 8-man content. It'd be so fun.
See, and that would be interesting, but then you run into a problem, and it's the same problem with a lot of the dungeons is the Tamos.
Yeah.
Well, on this version, you only need 1 person per thingy, though.
Mm-hmm.
If only you could like cross the thingies.
Yeah, they would need to adjust that and the switches and.
What?
He was making a Ghostbusters reference.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear what you said. I was like,
you never cross the streams.
I'm gonna turn my pop culture off, guys. I apologize.
No,
I got it. It's okay. I understood. I understood it.
Okay.
I just didn't hear the word. I'm sorry.
Oh man! All right. Have you guys done Aquapolis yet?
Yes.
Many times.
Good for money. Good for crystals. Good for random glamour junk.
Good for miscellaneous things that you would otherwise continue to find in treasure chests.
Glass fiber. Luminous fiber.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. And some of those. Yeah, I haven't been able to do it yet, so I haven't done any maps. So
it's random-ish and fun. I think we did 8 maps last night, and we got 7 pops.
Yeah.
7 pops for the dungeon. The very last one we didn't give us the portal, which was fine with me because I was like, "Let's be done, please."
I should start like a party finder or something and try and do that. Also, with this patch, this is cool. I didn't even know they added these materia melding NPCs. They just kind of they're like, hey, there's some in the patch notes. There's like, there's some NPCs that meld materia now. And I remember seeing it in game, and I was like, what? Like, that's huge.
Yeah, but it can't overmeld, can it?
No.
Yeah.
I do not believe so.
But I mean,
and doesn't it charge you?
It does.
But it doesn't use catalyst.
Yes.
So you just have to have the materia. So it's find a person or go to this dude.
Yeah, I used to be able to swear, like, I really used to think that you could just do people's melts for them as long as somebody between the two had the catalyst.
No, the person requesting has to have it.
The person requesting had to have it. I don't know why. Before in 2.0, I really thought just if somebody had it, it was all right. But it never was.
Which
I figured that should be a thing, too.
It's weird that we have these now because, like, we're not going to see, like, any... like meld shouts now, right? I'm curious, just like from a
people still want forbidden melts.
Yeah, people ask to pay for them, and I've never made anyone pay for it. It's like I don't care. It's like
how many people are doing? I mean, what gear out there right now are people trying to forbid meld? Because a lot of the new stuff you can't do that with, right?
Yeah, the crafted stuff.
The crafted stuff. It's really all.
Now the new crafted gear too.
Yeah.
It's really always just been crafted gear for crafting. Gathering. It's never been like your mainline gear almost ever.
Yeah.
It helps me out when we're in the middle of a raid and I get a new piece and I'm like, oh god, I need to meld it right now while we're outside. That's what it helps me with.
I also love going like, guys, I forgot to repair. I'm so sorry. Oh, wait a minute. I can repair everything 200% right now.
I repair in the middle of fights. Like,
I love it.
All the time. It's great.
So fun. Everyone else is a plebeian.
I'll be in like the middle of like Weeping City or something, and they're like pulling. I'm like, oh hey, I should like repair some stuff, just real quick. So like everyone's like running in, I'm just in the back, like holding my little orb glowing for a second. Like I just need a minute.
I can repair my book now.
I need to just polish my ring real quick.
Oh yeah, well that's actually the most important for you.
Sort of.
If that breaks, then
I'd be very sad.
Yeah. What else was there with the patch that came out that you guys checked out and like?
Bard buffs.
Bard buffs. I didn't even realize that Bard got buffed. I haven't played Bard since like 2.0.
It's nice.
Garuda got a buff for no real appreciable reason.
All right.
I assume Garuda is also a Bard.
I really like that I can hit an attack and cast a song and hit an attack on the next GCD.
Yeah.
I don't have to miss 2.
They did really.
Cool. And I really, really like Battle Voice being around twice as often.
So do I.
Yeah, that's my summoner.
That's pretty big. I loved the new orchestrion rolls with that 1.0 music. If we can just get like Unspoken and Tears of Mordona, like I'm good. I don't need anything else. That's all I need. But yeah, and then we'll get Deep Dungeon probably here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. It sounds like, so that'll be really cool to check out. Other than that,
can't wait.
Is there anything else? I think that's it, right?
Is it? Is that possibly it? Oh my!
I think that might be it for 3.3. So. All right. Before we close out the show, there's something cool that we want to show you guys here. The Novice Network For Streamers. This is something that Lux Ferris has started up as a personal, unofficial side project. It's not like, official Square Enix. No, it's just a personal thing that she started up, which is basically, it's going to operate the same way that the Novice Network operates in-game, but it's going to be for Twitch streamers. So we'll have mentors, we'll have novices, people that can bounce ideas off each other and collaborate. So we will have a post up on the website with the link. It's in a Discord chat. So if you're interested in streaming, find the post, click the link, and we'll talk to you on there. And that is going to do it for this episode of Aetheryte Radio. So if you would like to contact us, you can email us, aetheryteradio@gamerescape.com, or you can tweet at us at Aetheryte Radio. Emails, questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want, and we'll read them on the air. And that'll be it for this episode. Thank you.
Tell us things with your fingers.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, use your words. We like to hear from you.
And that'll do it for this episode of Aetheryte Radio. Thank you to Zanidra, Sil, and Aldino for joining me here. And we'll see you here next time.
Goodbye.
And thank you to Fusion X.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Nobody ever thanks you at the end of these.
So polite. All right.